Good morning, Saints fans. I'm John DeShazier with NewOrleansSaints.com, and thanks for joining me here on Facebook Live with the New Orleans Saints Pregame Report. Now, we're here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, where the Saints will take on the Falcons for the 98th time in franchise history, the 98th meeting between these two teams. And this one is significant. Even though it's Game 3 during this regular season, both teams enter this game 1-1. Neither wants to fall to 1-2, and certainly more incentive for the Saints because the Saints already 0-1 in the NFC South division. They don't want to fall farther behind in the division race. We know that the first path to the playoffs is winning the division. So the Saints do not want to fall farther behind. That one loss they had was against Tampa Bay in the season opening game, and so Tampa Bay already 2-0. And you don't want to lose another game and maybe fall farther behind Tampa Bay. You certainly can't gain any ground if you lose this game, but certainly you don't want to lose any more ground. So a win would help the Saints' prognosis there. Now, offensively last week for the Saints, they struggled against Cleveland, and that's an area they wanted to clean up. Only had 275 yards of offense, 3 of 12 on third down, scored 18 points in the fourth quarter to win that game 21-18, but not an efficient offensive performance by the Saints. That's something that they want to clean up here today against the Falcons. One of the ways to do that is to have an efficient game by Drew Brees, and Drew Brees is on the cusp of setting another NFL record. He is 14 completions shy of the NFL career record for completions. Brett Favre has 6,300 in his career. Now today, Drew Brees enters this game with 6,287. So that's a record that bears watching. Another potential record breaker for the Saints today, wide receiver Michael Thomas. We know that Michael Thomas already has the NFL record with 28 receptions in his first 2 games. Well, he's 6 behind Julio Jones's NFL record of 34 for 3 games. So if Michael Thomas gets 7 receptions, he steps back into the NFL record books from that standpoint. Also something to take note of, running back Alvin Kamara. He's making a homecoming here in Atlanta. Now, he's from this area, and the game last year, you remember, Alvin Kamara went out of that game early with a concussion, did not play, desperately wants to play well in front of his home fans, his home family, you know, everyone around here who knows Alvin Kamara to be the player that he is. And he will help hopefully jumpstart the Saints running game. Kamara leads this team with 21 rushes for 75 yards. That's not a lot of rushing yards, folks, and we know that. And Alvin Kamara is a guy who is capable of breaking off a long one. They want to be more efficient in the run game. Hopefully he can help there, but where he has helped is in the receiving department. 15 receptions for 165 yards, excuse me. That's 11 yards per reception, and that's a great output for a running back. So look for Alvin Kamara, if not in the running game, to certainly be efficient in the pass game to help out Michael Thomas there. Another help for Michael Thomas in the pass game, maybe rookie Tre'Quan Smith. Coach Sean Payton said this week that he wants to get Smith more involved with this offensive passing game, and hopefully he'll show up a little bit better. Only has 1 catch for 18 yards this season, had that against Cleveland. Want to improve on those numbers. Another guy who should help in the passing game, Cameron Meredith. Looks like that wide receiver, restricted free agent signing away from Chicago, looks like he's going to make his regular season debut here against the Falcons today. And that'll help in the Saints passing game because they need a little bit more production. You got to spread the wealth around a little bit more. Michael Thomas is accounting for 43% of the receptions from Drew Brees, and they want to get a little bit more balance in the passing game. They're hoping to get that with Cameron Meredith and maybe Tre'Quan Smith. Now, defensively for the Saints, they like what they saw against the Cleveland Browns, except the last 2 drives of the game. Gave up a huge touchdown late in that game, and also gave up some plays winding down that allowed Cleveland to get in position to kick a potential game-tying field goal. We know how that worked out. However, because of some of those deficiencies in the secondary, looks like the Saints are going to have some changes there. Ken Crawley out as a starter at cornerback, and it looks like P.J. Williams is going to be the guy who replaces him. Now, we know P.J. Williams has started for this team in the past. His main issue has been injuries. He's not been able to stay on the field with his health. Hopefully he'll be able to do so today. I know Crawley has been taking mental reps last week, so he hopes to stay sharp too, but it looks like it's going to be P.J. Williams starting at cornerback for the Saints. know the Saints also want to apply some pressure to Atlanta quarterback Matt Ryan. When they do, they've had success. Now, the Saints had 3 sacks against Tyrod Taylor against Cleveland last week. And when they've had success against Atlanta, they've really been able to get after Matt Ryan. Now, the Saints are 11-8 in the previous 19 games they've played when Matt Ryan has started at quarterback for the Falcons. In 6 of those games, they've sacked him and had an interception, at least one of each in 6 of those wins. In 2 more of those wins, they've had 5 sacks apiece against Matt Ryan. So getting to Matt Ryan, obviously critical to what the Saints want to do defensively. Get him off schedule, get him hopefully rushed, and maybe force him into some turnovers and some mistakes. At linebacker for the Saints, Manti Te'o not available today. Looks like Craig Robertson, who has not played much in the first 2 games, looks like he's going to be more active in the base defense, maybe in some of the sub packages, but Craig Robertson has been a big contributor defensively for this team the previous 2 years, so hopefully Craig Robertson can step right back in and not have much drop off there without Te'o being on the field. Something to watch for the Saints today, special teams. And a lot of times, special teams can make a difference in these type of games because these are generally close games. The Saints and Falcons have split their last 6 meetings, so we know and usually expect this to be a 1-possession game down the stretch. For the Saints, kick returner Tommy Lee Lewis is out. He's on injured reserve with an injured knee. However, Taysom Hill came in as the primary kick returner last week against Cleveland, and the only opportunity he had, he returned it 47 yards. So he gave the Saints a spark in the kick return game. As far as punt returner, that looks like it might be Ted Ginn Jr. He has more than 250 punt returns in his NFL career, has 4 punt return touchdowns. Ted Ginn Jr. has been effective in that category, but he only returned 19 for 103 yards last year. If it's not Ted Ginn Jr., it could be Kamara. Kamara has that explosiveness. It just depends on how much exposure the Saints want to give him on special teams and how much usage he'll have on the offense, whether or not they want to use him on special teams. We'll keep an eye on that. But the punt return situation might not matter a whole lot anyway because Atlanta punter Matt Bosher led the league last year in hang time. So the Saints might not have a lot of opportunities to return punts anyway, but anyway, still keep an eye on what happens in that punt return game because it could turn out to be critical. Now, again, the Saints 1-1, Falcons 1-1, and one of these teams is going to go to 2-1 and remain on the hot pursuit of Tampa Bay. Tampa plays tomorrow night, and if they lose, whoever wins will be tied for the division lead. You hope that it's the Saints because, again, they don't want to go to 0-2 in the division race. We'll continue to monitor it, though. Watch out for me, as well as others on NewOrleansSaints.com and on Twitter as this game progresses. We'll have your post-game report with myself and Sean Kelly back in the studio in New Orleans. We'll give you all the updates. You'll see Coach Sean Payton as well as Drew Brees with their live press conferences post-game. But I'm John DeShazier right now from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We're getting ready for the Saints to kick off here pretty soon against the Falcons. Hopefully win number 98, game number 98 in this rivalry. The Saints are looking to edge ahead of the Falcons in the division race, and we'll continue to monitor this thing as we go along. As we keep going, go Saints, and have a great day.